Emma Holmes here, and I am talking about your content strategy today. And what I am talking about particularly is making sure that you are making the best of the content that you're creating. It is really easy to create a whole stack of content, put it out there, and then go, that didn't really make an impact, did it? And we get onto this then content creation hamster wheel where we're creating and we're creating and we're creating, but we're never getting the best out of anything. So today is the day that we are going to talk about how you can practically put some steps into your business that will help you to get a better return on the content that you already have created, the content that you create in the future, and across the board, how your content can work best for you. So I want to just dive in very quickly to what content is to start with. So content is everything that you create in your business. It's every audio you create, it's every video you create, it's everything that you write, it's every image that you create. All of that comes together to become a huge big bag of content that you can use in your business. Everything that's front facing essentially is your content. And I know that people get into this kind of constant creation mode, and it's like a hustle to continue to find more and more and more content to feed the ever hungry social media channels, and to, we become a slave to content essentially. So I want us to move away from that. I want us to get the best out of the stuff that we already have and the stuff that we are creating moving forwards from here. So the first thing that I want to do is have a quick rundown of the stats that I found out. I did a little bit of research around kind of the shelf life of your social media posts, because I knew that it wasn't very long, but actually some of it is quite surprising. So your shelf life on Twitter is 18 minutes. 18 minutes. You have kind of got 18 minutes on Twitter before that content is kind of disposed of and it's gone into the ether. Yeah, people will go over to your Twitter and have a look at your whole page, but that's infrequent. You've got 18 minutes of hitting the timeline, so that's a really short amount of time. Facebook, the typical is just 5 hours. 5 hours, and the average post will get 75% of its engagement in the first 5 hours, but it will get 75% of its impressions, so actually eyes on the prize, within the first 2.5 hours. So that's going really, really quickly. The stats for Insta are 48 hours. You've got about 48 hours on your post, and that will get the 75% of all the comments that are going to happen on an Insta post will happen within the first 48 hours. So these are teeny tiny time frames where people are spending an awful lot of time feeding content into those platforms and not really getting the best from it. Platforms with more longevity are platforms like YouTube. So people will come across the older YouTube videos. I watch YouTube videos from people that I follow that are 3-4 years old. There's much more longevity on YouTube, and as long as you're creating content that remains relevant, then you are creating more that can be viewed over a longer period of time. Your expectation is that your viewership will be much more evergreen than on some of these other platforms. Pinterest is another one as well, where you get much more longevity within your social media posts. But it's not just social media that we're creating content for. We're creating content for our own websites. We're creating content that just isn't getting as much traction and the ability to help as many people as it possibly can, because we're kind of, as entrepreneurs, we're kind of on to the next thing, and we're on to the next thing, and we're on to the next thing. So here's some things that you need to think about when you're creating content. The first one is creating a piece of content around a particular topic. What is that topic and what can you do with it? So I've kind of got this content strategy plan where we can take a particular topic and we can tick the different types of content that we can create from that topic. So we could create a blog that goes upon my website. We could create an article to be used on somebody else's website. We could create a Facebook post about that topic. We could create a tweet around that topic. We could add it to Pinterest. We could add that topic to Instagram. We can create a meme from something that we've talked about within it. We can record it as a video, and we can record it as a podcast. So say, for example, I'm talking about longevity of content. I am doing this YouTube video right now to help and support you to create more content. I've done some little taster videos that will go out onto my Facebook page that will help to drive traffic to this video. So it's going to promote this video on my other platforms, but equally I am going to house this video as well upon my blog. So whether you're watching this actually sat on my YouTube channel or whether you're watching this sat on my blog, that video is going to appear in both places, giving it even more longevity, driving more traffic to it and giving it more longevity. When this video goes live, then I will be doing a Facebook Live to promote it to my Facebook followers. I'll be doing an Instagram Live to promote it to my Insta followers. So I'm creating the one video and then I'm going to market traffic to it. But that's not the end of it. So I'm going to create a video and I need to get some eyes upon that video. So I'm going to create the traffic to it by looking at all of the social media platforms where I can drive traffic to, and I'm going to look at the first week of that video being live and how I can encourage people to come and watch it. So you might have come across it from a different social media platform. I will create an image that I'll be using on Instagram. I will create a stories image that I'll be using on stories. I'll create a meme that I can use out onto social media platforms across the board. I'll be tweeting about it. I'll be bringing out little elements of it, but I'll also be creating the blog content that runs alongside it so that it can be housed in my home on my website. So that will also happen. I will also be putting the topic into the bag to talk about differently, but being able to talk about, hitting my keyboard there, on a podcast. So I'm looking at the different ways that I can create lots of different content from the one topic. I'm looking at driving traffic to that particular piece of content. But then, this is where lots of people don't take the next step. This particular piece of content that I'm creating here then it needs to have longevity. So I need to look at how I can put it into my content plans so that I can share it again, so that it becomes something that doesn't just get the light of day once. So for lots of people, they're creating content and it is only getting seen once. It's only getting seen on one occasion, which therefore is meaning that you're never getting the best out of that particular thing that you're creating. So what I'm going to be doing then with this video is I'm going to be placing it into my content strategy for moving forwards. We use a Trello board, and what I'm going to do is I will link into the notes the Trello boards, Trello, so that you can have a look at that. It's a project management tool that we use, and I will put that in there so that I have a record of the video that I've created and the things that I created around it as per the content strategy plan, so that I can use it again and I can look at where I'm going to talk about this topic in my schedule and be able to bring it back to life and use the information again. So equally, I'm doing this with Facebook posts. So I'm typing away, I'm writing out a Facebook post, I'm pressing publish, and out it goes there into the world. So often what happens then is that it gets forgotten. It is, we've seen it's got about 5 hours, and then if I didn't do anything with it, it would be out there and gone. And it would help the people that it had reached in that first period of time, and then poof, it had gone. So again, I'm using a Trello board and I'm capturing that post. If it's anything of substance, if it's anything short, then not so much so, but if it's anything of substance, I am capturing that to use it again. Again, I'm putting it on a Trello board that is just set up in date order of all of my posts, my longer posts for each month. There's a search facility on there. I can type it in, use it again. I'm also doing the same thing, when I am looking at creating social media posts. A really simple and easy way to do it is just going into your publishing tools on your Facebook page, typing in a particular topic and looking at the things that come up. And I'm going to show you how you do that now. So here we are in the back end of one of my Facebook pages. We need to go to publishing tools here, And this is a great way for you to start to recycle and reuse content so that you are getting the best of the stuff that you've already written. One way of doing it, absolutely amazing. And what it does is it brings up everything that you've ever created on your Facebook page. And what you can do on here is just type in, so I could do content marketing, and I could bring up everything that is around content marketing that has gone out on my Facebook page, and looking at the stuff that we could reuse. And I could just simply go through and pull out things from there that I want to reuse, that I want to recycle, that I want to go again with, because that is already there. So I could say, look, you know, this is something that went out 2017, list building resistance. Now I absolutely could take this and I could use it again as is. I could just recycle that as is and re-put it out on my Facebook page. It's a big, long, lengthy one. I could put it out as it is and it'd be fine. The other thing that I could do is I could take that content and I could reword it, or I could jazz it up a little bit, or I could change the image with it. So I could change the image and it would give it a new lease of life. Or the other thing that I could do with that is I could take that over now to my blog, and I could then create a blog out of the exact same thing that I created for my Facebook page. So it's showing you ways that you can use that content even more and give it much more light by taking it from one place, either recycling it as is or turning it into something else. So, number one, we've got a topic idea. How many ways are you going to use it? How many different things can you create from that one topic idea? Number two, how across the first week of that content being created can you ensure that more traffic is driven to it and you can reference it and send people in its direction so that it is getting as much eyes on it at that period of time as it can? Number three, how can you store that content to use later and recycle it as is? Number four, how can that content create something else and be somewhere else where there is a little bit more longevity than the post that you have simply created in its singularity? And it might be that that singular post becomes a series of posts that you refer people back to, and then it could become a video, and then it could become a podcast, and then it could become an image, and then it could become, and then it could become, and then it could become. So think about, number one, a content cascade strategy, so how you can get the one piece of content out to many places to get as many eyes on it as you can. Number two, your longevity strategy, so that you can talk about it more than once. So it isn't just talked about on the day that you create it. So it might be, talk about your blog more than once in the first week it's created. Talk about your YouTube video more than once in the first week it's created. Tweet about it more than once in the first week it's created. Do Facebook post around it first week it's created. So it's about then reusing and recycling. So bringing it into some sort of system where you can give it more airtime in the future and you can talk about it further at different times in your business. And then it's about thinking about, whether you can kind of spider web these pieces of content together. So if you read, if you watch this video and then there might be a blog that you can go and read that's got a similar topic, then there might be something else that you can go and do. So just think about your content, not in its singular format, but insofar as how many ways, insofar as how can I cascade, insofar as how can I reuse and recycle, and that will bring you much more longevity to the content that you're creating. So I would love it if you would hit the comments and let me know if this is something that you're already doing, if this is something that you want more information on, if this is something that has been helpful and supportive to you and that you are going to go away and implement in your business. I would love you to hit the comments and to tell me about your content strategy and whether or not you feel like you have got it all going on, or whether you feel a bit more insofar as your content goes. And also, if you would please hit the subscribe button right here, and there is another video for you to watch over here if you are ready to have a look at something else. So have an absolutely blessed day, whatever you're doing. I would love for us to connect, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.